I'm Lisa. I'm the Barefoot Pampered chef, and today is a day that is kind of near and dear to my heart. Today is September 10th of 2017, and it's World Suicide Awareness Prevention Day. So, being a person who has struggled through some parts of her life and has contemplated suicide at times, I am really big on suicide prevention awareness. So in Northern Ohio, I've started a charter of an amazing organization. It's called SAVE. So our charter is SAVE Northern Ohio. And SAVE stands for Suicide Awareness Voices of Education. You can visit their website at save.org to learn more about their remarkable worldwide efforts. And today, of all days, you need to go to the website Take 5 to Save Lives. So Take 5 to Save Lives is an amazing website that helps you learn the 5 different stages of helping someone who may be thinking of committing suicide and how we can kind of stop this from occurring. So I do definitely suggest to go to those websites. And today, I'm going to be making some cookies. I have a meeting for our SAVE organization here tomorrow. And I thought that the cookie shape that I was going to use would be something to kind of remind me of how beautiful life is. And so we're actually going to use little butterfly cutters. And I just think butterflies are kind of a rejuvenation or a rebirth. So we're going to use those today. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make our filling. These are actually pie crust cookies, and they are stuffed with some fruity goodness. Now you can use any type of frozen fruit, so you can use raspberries. I happen to have some peach puree that I had frozen. You're going to use 3 cups of your frozen thawed fruit. You're going to add to that 3 tablespoons of sugar. And so I'm using my little cupcake cups, so I can just throw these away or utilize them again when I'm done with my ingredients. We're going to add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. This thickens your filling up a little bit so it's not going all over the place. We are going to add some, about a teaspoon of lemon peel and a little bit of lemon juice. So lemon zest and lemon juice. We're going to stir that in, and then we're going to add a little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of cinnamon, and a little bit of salt. It's probably about a pinch or a quarter of a teaspoon of each, maybe an eighth of a teaspoon, just to your liking. And we're going to mix that in. I'm going to set that off to the side while we make our shapes, just so it starts to thicken a little bit. So we'll set that over here. Now I was making something with pie crust the other day, so I happen to have some leftover pie crust that I just kind of made into a disc and popped into my refrigerator for safekeeping. If you want to make your own pie crust, there are lots of different recipes out there, but we're just going to use this one for today. So I'm going to use my Pampered Chef pastry roller here, and I'm just going to roll this out until it's approximately, I don't know, an eighth of an inch thick. Like I said, this has been in the refrigerator for a little bit, so it's a little solid. You might want to let it sit out at room temperature a little longer. Just sprinkle a little flour underneath there to get it rolling a little bit easier. Again, I always like getting the kiddos involved when we do cooking, so this is something that they could obviously do, and it'll give them a little hands-on experience. I'm just going to flip this over so I can roll it out a little bit more on this side, and we're getting about to the right thickness. You can use store-bought pie crust if you want, that's already rolled out. Alright, so I've got this around the right thickness. I can't see through it, but it's definitely thin. And I'm going to cut out some of my butterfly shapes. Now you can always take the excess and re-roll it back out. Just remember, Every time that you roll it back out, it's going to get a little tougher. So these are coming out really nicely, these little butterflies. I'm going to cut a few more of these out of this piece, and then I'll show you how to fill them and how to bake them. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. I think I can fit one more there, and I don't think I can fit any more, but that's okay. Now, you can do these as one big cookie with a front and a back. I'm actually going to fold them over so it looks like our little guys are folding up their wings. So I'm going to pull a few of these onto my cutting board here. I have a few other ones that I've already cut out a little earlier. So we'll put 9 of these guys on here, and I'll show you how we're going to do this. So now one side of these, since I'm folding them over, we're going to coat with a little bit of egg wash. If you're doing them back and front, you just want to coat one inside with egg wash and leave the other one plain. So I'm just going to coat one side of these with a little bit of egg wash, and what that's going to do is it's going to help our ends, our corners or sides, stick together. So we get 1/2 of each one of these done, and this is just an egg that I've beaten up. I actually have a tattoo that has a butterfly on it on my leg, and the butterfly, the wing, is made of stained glass for my grandpa, and all of the colors in it represent the different organizations, such as leukemia, light the night, orange, and Alzheimer's is in there as well. And the body of it is made of a suicide awareness symbol, the semicolon. The top of the semicolon is the drop for diabetes, the blood drop for diabetes, and the blue circle for diabetes. The antenna is an upside down Lou Gehrig's ribbon, and the flower that it's sitting on is the Parkinson's flower. So I really appreciate the symbolism of the butterfly here. So we've got that side coated. We're going to take our filling, and we're just going to put a little bit inside each one of these. I'm just kind of putting it in the middle of the cookie. It's really okay if these kind of ooze out a little bit as you shut them. They're still going to taste great. So I'm probably putting maybe a little bit less than a teaspoon inside these cookies. It really depends on what shape you make yours. You can make them any shape. Alright. So now once I have that done, I'm going to take each little cookie. Hopefully you can see this. I'll pick this one up here. So we've got a little bit of the filling in the middle, and we've got the egg wash on one side, and I'm going to fold this over, and I'm just going to crimp the sides, and we're actually going to go grab a fork, because we are going to crimp these sides with a fork. Now, if you want to just use circle cookies, the best thing would be to use your cut and seal, because you can cut the cookie and seal it all in one motion. So I'm just going to take my fork and very finely make little marks along the sides of the butterfly. It kind of gives him a feathery wing, so that's why I like this shape. And like I said, it's okay if some of your filling comes out. It'll still taste the same. So this is what they look like when they have their edges crimped. I'm going to put this onto a parchment paper lined cooking sheet. I am going to brush the top of this with a little bit more egg wash. And really you're supposed to top these with turbinado sugar, which is a kind of a fine pastry sugar, but I don't have any of that today, and I really like the flavor of brown sugar. So I'm actually going to top these with a little bit of brown sugar, and that's going to give a little bit of a crisp on the top. Once I have all of these cookies made, we're going to pop this in the oven at 400 degrees for approximately, I want to say 12 to 15 minutes. I would just watch to see how done they are. If they're looking nice and brown on the top, it really depends on your oven. And all of this information for our different products, our batter bowl, our mix and scraper, my silicone basting brush, and my prep bowls, and the pastry roller can all be found at www.pamperedchef.biz/Lisa Wright, LISAWRIGHT. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at #BarefootPC, and you can find me on my YouTube channel at the Barefoot Pampered Chef. And you can also find the information about SAVE at save.org, and that's Suicide Awareness Voices of Education. You can find us online on Facebook at Save Northern Ohio Charter as well. And there's probably a charter in a state near you. Thanks, and have a great day.